Hey fellow readers, and welcome back to a new tutorial, and in this one we have this map animation. Well, to clear things out, this is an animation which I got inspired from. I just saw this video on a YouTube and then I just tried to recreate that, but in my own way, because as you can see I have some icons and all the elements. This is the nose graph for this animation, and I can tell you it might look complicated at first, but it's really simple. This video is divided in two parts. The first half will be understanding how we create this, and the second one we'll try to recreate from scratch. This way it will be a little bit easier for you. First you will understand why I have used these notes and how, and the second half then you'll use your own mind, which is really important if you're learning something. And my Fusion workspace might be a little bit different from you. If you like this one, then you can copy that by coming to the workspace, layout presets, Fusion presets, and choosing midflow. Or if you want the default one, then you can do that too. There is no good or bad. Then you can see my inspector is enabled and also my nodes. To get started with this effect, you will need some assets. The first one is obviously your maps, because that is what we are creating. So you will need some map. Secondly, you will need some icons on top. And lastly, if you want to make it really cool, then you can get some old vintage backgrounds or some cool backgrounds basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. When you'll have all the assets collected, let's head up to understand how I create this. So you can see this is my whole node graphs. All right, let's come to our first underlay. So in this underlay, we have all these nodes, and it says map. So this shows that we first started with maps. So if I come here in Media Out in, this is our first node which I added. So this is our map node. All right, that's nice. Its resolution is 3000, which is really high. And then I added this luma keyer to key out that white part. With luma keyer, you can do that. You can key out the ranges, okay, whether it's white or black. And you can see my settings too are present here. That's how I've enabled this inspector, so that it will be a little bit easier for you. Okay, the next thing is I added this map. And why do we have this transform here? Well, that is because if I close this transform and show this merge to you, so with this help of merge, we were able to take this as background and put this as a foreground. All right, and in this media in, this is the map. It's really small. Well, why is that? If I come here and you can see its resolution is really low, which is 624 pixels, whereas this has 3000 pixels, which is really high. So with the help of transform, I was able to make it a little bit bigger, as you can see here in the size. Then again, some transform, I just reduce its size to something like this, then adding all of this onto a background so that we get a nice canvas. Right now we have a very huge canvas which is not appropriate for our animation. So with the help of merge again, and a plain background which alpha is to 0, which means that whenever you see this checker underlay behind it, it means that it's alpha out. You can even remove this checker underlay by coming over here and unchecking this checker underlay. It's totally up to you. Then why do we have this rectangle here? Well, that is because if I again close this and with control middle mouse zoom it in, you can see we have this vmaps.com where I got this maps from. So it's written over here and we don't want that. So with the help of rectangle mask, I was able to attach it to merge, because this merge contains all this image. So with the help of that, I just put it on over here. But at start, it would look something like this. It would contain all of it, which we don't want. We want everything except this. So that's why I have this invert option over here. And that is it. Then again, with the help of transform, I was able to make it more smaller. Something like this. Well, this is looking super cool. And this way, we were done with our maps. Then what do we have next? Let's place our map onto something which will be our background. So we have this image. You can see we also have this background, which is very plain. Why is that? Again, to make a full HD canvas, we have this background. And this image has a different resolution, which is 2000 by 2000, which is again not appropriate. And with the help of merge, I was able to attach these both and put the map onto the background. Then again, we have a merge, and in this merge, all of this is set to background. There is a setting that I have changed here, which is apply mode. Normally it would be set to normal, but I changed it to color burn, which gave me this really cool effect, which I really liked. So I went with that. Then right now if I play, so it's something like this. That is because of the masking. If I remove that and if I play, it will be static. It would be stagnant. Nothing will be happening here. So I added this ellipse mask. If I play, so you can see it's animated also this fast noise. So if I again start from here, so you can see these both are animated and then connected to this merge, because this merge contain this map over here. All right, so that was pretty much it for the animation of the maps. As you can see, yeah, it's like that. Okay, then coming over here to our next underlay, which is outline. So this is an optional thing for you guys, because if I just zoom it in here in the viewer and play it from the beginning, as you can see, we have this outline coming first. Okay, I like this effect, that's why I put it over here. If you don't like that, then and how did we create that? Pretty simple, with a polygon. It's a hectic task. I literally did what is I just took this polygon, and I also have this map here, right? So I just bit by bit added all the points onto this map. Yeah, seriously. And you can even check this row to assist, so it will help you a bit. All right, we'll come to that later. Then nothing, I just put this on a plain background, which is set to this color, somewhat dark gray. Then I add a glow. I was able to attach this with the help of merge onto our footage. And in the polygon, you can see that my some settings are changed, and with the help of length node, I was able to animate it. Again, animation is the crucial part. So we are going step by step. It's like we create first an image, then we animate that, and lastly adding some effects. That is it. And after the outline, we have our text. As you can see, the underlay says text. And in this text, I have written nothing. It's just Saudi Arabia, that is it. And it is also animated, by the way, with this right on option. Okay. And with the merge, again, I put this on top. And in this merge, again, apply mode is set to overlay, which looks really super cool, as you can see over here. All right. Now coming to the icons part. So this might be a little bit intimidating and also looks a little bit complex. Let me explain what this node is doing over here. This is a wireless link node, and this fast noise is attached to this wireless link node. So let me first show this to you. So you can see we have some icons over here. 4 barrels, oil barrels. Okay, these are icons. And 2 videos of this pump jack doing its work. And again, this is also masked out with those fast noise. As you can see, and in this case, our fast noise is this wireless link node. Then again, I attached to all of these. And with the help of that, we were able to get this kind of effect. Okay, so this was explanation of this wireless link node. Well, let's start from the beginning. So we have this oil icon over here. Okay, oil barrel icon, which is transparent, by the way. Then with the help of transform, what I did over here is I reduced its size really low. And it's somewhere around here, but that doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay, and even change the position also. And then again with the merge, I was able to place it on a 1920 by 1080 canvas, because we have this plain background over here, which alpha is set to 0. Then with the help of duplicate, I was able to make a duplicate of it somewhere around here. And again with the help of duplicate, I was able to duplicate these two somewhere around here. Then with the help of merge, I was able to place this on top of this. Well, why do we have these 2 merges over here? That is because I wanted these to have a texture of this image over here. And how did we get that? We get that with the help of merge. And merge, you can see in operator, I have set its operator to mask. And with that, I was able to mask the image which is beneath our merge. But that will give us this, which looks nice to our barrels. But what's next? So we need to again attach it to this, to put it on top of this. Then in this merge, I have set its apply mode to linear dodge. And with that, we were able to get this. And why linear dodge? Because if it was set to normal, then it would not show up. And why is that? Because the texture is set to this background. So why will it show up? That's common sense, I think. So let me just again make it linear dodge. And with that, it was looking good. Then doing the same thing with our video over here. This is our pump jack video that I used, and I have used a rectangular mask to cut this part out. Okay, so we have this, and with the help of time speed, I increase its speed a little bit. So speed is 5. Then with the help of Luma keyer, I was able to key out that white part. Then again with transform, I just placed it wherever I wanted. Then with the merge, again doing the same thing. In this merge, the operator is set to mask, and in this merge, it's set to linear dodge. We have this icon over here. Then again, adding one more transform after this transform, and changing its position. Then again in this merge, we have its operator set to mask, and same ways we have this merge as linear torch. And masking all of these three out with that fast noise, if for example, if I don't have that enabled, so it would look something like this. It would be present from the starting, which we don't want. We want this to begin when the mask will show our map, and with that we were able to get this. But still it's looking very, very boring. It's plain background, that is it. And I'm telling you guys, the best and easy possible way to animate that effect of a camera basically, moving to this plane in 3D space is actually working in 3D space. That's why we have this 3D space. You can do that in 2D too. Okay, there are several nodes by which you can do that, but the easiest one, I'm saying this because I've tried every method, it's the 3D one. Okay, why? Let me just come over here, and we are done with our icons, by the way. And after this, I have this image plane 3D. Well, if I view this and with holding Alt and middle scroll wheel, mouse button, you can view this, and control, scroll, zoom in and zoom out. That is it. So Alt and middle scroll, control middle mouse. That is it. Okay. So by putting this on an image plane 3D, it's basically again a plane on which your image is like this. Now, see how easy it is. With the help of Merge 3D, I was able to add a camera. And the thing which you need to do now is just animating the camera. That is it. So in camera and transform, you can see its translation and rotation keyframes are animated. So you just have to put keyframes on camera's location. That is it. And lastly, add a render 3D after this merge. And in this render 3D, set render type to OpenGL rendering. That is a little bit better. Then software render. And then you will see something like this. So let me just first come to merge, and here in camera you can see this camera is animated. This is so cool. See, this camera is animated, and again our video is being played on a plain image. Crazy this is, and so simple it is. And you can even see the transformation line is even seen over here. You can select both. I think you can move these. Yeah, you can even move and manipulate this on the viewer itself, but we won't do that. So you can see just 2 keyframes at the starting and at 90th frame. That is it. And with that, you'll get something like this. In Render 3D, if your, I think, camera is set to default or camera 3D one, whatever. Alright. Then in merge, this render is connected to a merge, and we have this plain background again with 920 by 1080 composition. And then we have this merge, and it will look something like this. Then again, this merge is connected to this wireless link node. As you can see, merge tool it says. So this merge is connected to this wireless link node, and this wireless link node or this underlay have all those nodes which are essential to make this look good and even a media out. So that's why it says OFX out, After Effects out, not that After Effects. Okay, so we have this wireless link. If I view this, then again, same thing, because it is displaying this merge 12 only. Then we have this transform. Why do we have this transform? Well, because after 90th frame, it was looking plain. It was really static, and I didn't want it that. So with the help of this transform, I right click on the center and added a modifier, which is camera shake. And these are my settings. Then we have some tilt, shift, blur. So if I come over here, you can see this part is blurred out. Something like this. We also have some lens blur to mimic that, sort of, if I come over and play, so that lens blurriness which it suddenly takes for just 1 or 2 frames. Then we have some halation, film grain, soft glow, color corrector, prism blur, and lastly your media out. And that is it. You are pretty much done how we made this. It was all the understanding part, and I hope that you understood that. This is really, really crucial whenever you're learning something. And now we'll recreate it from scratch. Now you can see we have this plain node graph, and I have all the resources, or it's gathered. First, we have this map, then we have this map, then in this one we have our background, this one we have our oil icon, barrel icon, and we have this video over here. And we also have this one. This is the final output, so that we'll be just keep looking at it time to time. And yeah, that is it. Now let's begin. First things first, we have this map and this one. We need to attach this. So how do we do that? Take the output from it, put it to the output of this one. Merge will be added automatically, and do Control T because the inputs were switched. Now if you view this on this merge, you can see again that problem. It's really small. First, let me just bring this over here. And by the way, my nodes are snapping because I have turned this option on. If I come to this range tools, to grid option is turned on, and you can do that too. That is awesome. Okay, out of this media, shift plus spacebar, XF, transform, increase the size to something like when it will fit. So let me just come to this border and let's see, this much is enough whenever it's in between. Okay, so I think this much is nice. All right, that is looking super cool. But after that, so let's come over here and see our reference again. So don't look at this outline animation first because that is hectic one. We'll not be creating that. Okay, so we have this map and it's on this background. So we have this background over here. Now take the merge output again, put it to the output of here, and then let's see what do we have. Oh, we have this, which is looking really bad. Well, that is because our media in first have this white output. It's not transparent. So how do we make this transparent? Again, using the Luma keyer, shift plus spacebar, Luma keyer, Luma, LKY was a short form. You have this Luma keyer, change the settings. You also have to see this, by the way. So change the settings, something like this should work, increase the gamma also. And now this part is gone and white is left. We want the opposite of that. So click invert and you got yourself this. Now if you zoom in, you can see we have this stuff. So blur this out a little bit, do contract, expand kind of stuff and all of that. When you will do all of that, you will get yourself something like, and you can even get somewhere around here. Yeah. So you will get something like this, which is keyed out, and this is transparent. Why? Because we have this checker underlay. You can come and take this checker underlay if you don't have that enabled. Now if we will again come here and see, whoa, it's attaching or stacking upon, but we don't have a proper base to stack them upon. So to create a proper base, after this merge, shift plus spacebar, BG, you have to put this over here. Instead of that, attach it again, bring this above. Let me see this merge 3. Now it should work. After this merge 2, what if we added another XF transform and made it smaller? Then it would look something like so. Again, delete this transform and let's copy this, Control C, paste Control V, and put this over here. Okay, so this is our image, this is our merge, and put this background onto this merge. And by the way, this merge background's alpha is set to 0 again. And let me just gather some space. So let me bring this above, let me bring this nodes down. I think that much would be enough, and this over here. So this space is set to our maps only. After this merge, I can add XF transform to make this a little bit smaller. Something like 0.5 should work, I think. Now if I view this merge and again come here onto this merge, Control T to swap inputs, and now as you can see, our background is stacking upon to this 920 by 1080 canvas. All right, we have this, now we have this, and in this merge we have this. So in this transform, we can even reduce it more smaller, something like 0.25, and that will look super cool. Then again, we have this problem of this text written over here, which you don't want, then to this merge. So where is this text? It is over here. So we can add a rectangle mask on it, but now you can see it's just showing this black outline part. Well, that is because this merge contains this. Okay, it contains this image basically, which has this outline and also the text. So we need to attach it here because this merge contains the whole map. So come here, add a rectangular mask onto this merge. Now you can see it's working, and put this over here. Now reduce the size. You can do all of this in the viewport display itself. You don't need to do that. Well, you have all the options over here, but the simpler options are this one. Then you can even increase the height and choose invert. What this is doing now is it's adding a mask over here and then showing everything else other than what is inside this rectangular mask. Looking super cool, I think. What I can do is I can come to this merge. As this merge contains the map, I just told you. So instead of this plain graysness, I can come to this apply mode and here choose color dodge. I think it was color dodge or color burn, sorry. Color burn. Yeah, that is looking super cool. And this blend 0.9 should work. Now you can see it's looking like that this map is related to this background only. Now both of these have some commonness I'm not getting the perfect word, but yeah, relatability, or that you understand that. Okay. Then we have this at last. And lastly, again we have this. Okay. That is looking great. But now what? Well, let's come to our reference again. Let's see, what do we have here? Well, we have that outline animation. So there's a couple of things which you can do to create that outline animation. Is the first thing is, as I told you, you can either create a, let me just POLY polygon. You can get this polygon and click on it, and you have this image over right here. You can come here, choose roto assist multiple points, and enable this roto. Enable that. I don't know why this was disabled. Now come here, and as you can see, it will automatically create these points for you. Then roto assist, because of roto assist, first of all, let me just do linear instead of. So with the help of that, you can do this, and shift L to linear, make them linear. I don't know why. Shift A, shift L to make these linear. I don't know why these all are smooth. So my main thing about this is that you can do all of this with a polygon mask. Okay, so you can create a mask basically by that, bit by bit you can do that. That way you will have a whole polygon. Let me just copy it from my project. So I have copied that. I can paste it with Control V, and you can see we have this polygon. So this was the one method. Or what you can do is to create that outline particularly. Okay, not the animation. Again, the animation could be done with the polygon only. But if you want the outline, then you can do one thing. You can come over here, after this Luma key here, add a node bitmap. Take this, add as input into bitmap. After this bitmap, add a filter node. So in this bitmap, you will have this. In filter, again, it not set to mask, to this input. In filter, if you change it to Placino Subale, it should work. Okay, I'll change it to Subale. Then after this Luma key here, over here, you can add a blur node. Okay, so it will be a little bit smoother. And after this filter, add an aerodilate to control how much you want. Let me just put this over here, how much thickness you want. Okay, so you can do that. So it's totally up to you, whichever method you like. So with that, you can create your own effect. With polygon, you can create that length animation effect. Okay, so yeah, that is it. Or what you can do is, you can, again, you have this mask over here. Now with the help of, let me just put this onto this, and then we will have this merge 4. And if you'll see this merge 4, it will look something like this. Then after this, add a XF transform node, type here 0.25, same thing which we did over here. So you can see you will have something like this. Then again, this VMAPs over here, connect the effect of this rectangle to this mask. So this will mask all of it out. So you can animate this in various ways. It's totally up to you how you want to animate that. So you have all the options. You can either create that outline effect by this, using this polygon, and spending a whole lot of time to, add points onto this map, or you can use this bitmap filter aerodilate method to get yourself an outline. Yeah, that is it. But this way you will just have the outline, nothing else. So this, let me just add a glow also, and this merge, instead of this, let me choose overlay, or maybe screen or something. I don't know what I have chosen over there, but whatever. Okay, so you can do that. This way you will get yourself an outline. Let me just use normal again. So okay, this was all about outline. Take a hell lot of time. Then after that, we have this sort of masking effect first of all. So how do you create that masking effect? So if I come over here, and right now nothing is happening, and it's fine, but we need to have that. Let me just remove this just for a moment, that outline. Okay, to have that masking effect, you can come over here onto this merge, shift to spacebar, FN, fast noise, that is it. Delete this merge, we don't need that. First of all, let's add an ellipse to this. Now it will mask all of it, which we don't want, again, if you remember. So what we can do is, we can add this on to this one. I think this contains the mask of merges. So what you can do is, you can come here and copy both of these, paste it over here, hold shift, add this over here. Why I have done this? Because I want this as this, yeah, as a canvas. Now you can add an ellipse over here, no issues. Come here, put is equals to on this width. This is added an expression is coding. So you don't need to do all of that. You just need to take that plus and put it on height. And this is the simplest code I have ever seen. Well, because it says that whatever the height is, copy that. Why isn't it working? It should work, I think. Maybe we need to put this over here. Nope. Yeah, so you need to do control T also, by the way. Swap the inputs. We didn't swap the inputs. So something like this, and you can see it's working. So let me just put this over here, come to 0 frame, add a keyframe on height, then go to 90th frame, increase the height to something like this much should work. 1.12. That is it. Come to the start, play. Boom, it's working. You can increase some soft edge if you want to. Maybe something like this much is fine. If I again play it back from the start, let me just disable all these with control P. This one also disable with control P. And now if I'll play, it should be a little bit faster, I think. Or right click, uncheck high quality, uncheck motion blur, right click. Yeah, that is it. I don't know why it's this laggy. Usually it's not this much laggy. So you can see we have this kind of fading effect, okay, with the help of ellipse. Now after this ellipse, you can even add a fast noise. So take this ellipse, put it as a mask on fast noise, and put this fast noise mask onto this merge. So you see what is happening. First of all, we have this fast noise, and this fast noise is animated with this ellipse, okay. So you will get something like this. Right now you can't see anything. Well, that is because come to this fast noise, increase the scale to 10, increase the detail to 10, increase contrast to 5, and we will play with this brightness, because let me just make it 5 first of all. When you will have this brightness set to 0, it will look something like this. When you will have this as 4 or something, it will fill all the gaps. So we will animate this brightness, and that will wait. And in the seed rate, let's make it 0.1 so that it will be a little bit animated, okay. It will move a little bit, and now you can see we will have something like this. That is looking super cool, by the way. So now you can add a keyframe on this brightness. When do we have this? Yeah, 90. So I want this to start on 75th, so and end on 90. So come to this fast noise, add a brightness, add a keyframe on this brightness, come to 90th frame, add a keyframe, something like 4 or whatever it should fill, basically. Now you can see it's a little bit like that. We can even increase it to 5, I think. Something like 4.5, something like that. And now if I'll play from the beginning, actually let me just come here and into this brightness, remove this from here, and let's start it from here. So let's start a keyframe, make it 0. It should work now. Yeah, that is looking fine. Now what you can do is you can come to spline, select both of these, check spline, and if you have only selected tool, show only selected tool checked, then you will only see these tools which you have selected. Zoom to fit, check all of these, control A to select all, shift S to smooth them out, T to get this bar, and ease out to something like 30 or maybe 25 should work, and ease in you can increase it to maybe 85 90, something like that. Uncheck spline, let's play from the beginning. Looking fine, but not that great. Well, why is that? That is because of the outline animation which we don't create it, but again you can do that too. Coming over here, now I have this polygon already animated. Now I can take this background, attach it to the merge, and let's see this merge. Okay, it's a little bit too big, so what we need to do is after this background, first of all we need to add a glow, we need to add a transform and make it smaller, something like wherever it will fit. I think 0.518 worked well. And in the merge, instead of normal, you need to choose, I don't know what you need to choose. You can choose anything. I'll choose overlay, linear dodge, color dodge, linear title color. You can choose whatever you like, man. There's not a rule or something that you need to choose that only, but whatever you like, you can choose that. Whatever you're happy with, basically. So something like this should work. I can reduce the gain. If I'll play from start, you can see we have this outline, zip 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 zip, like that, looking cool. 0.9 should work. In blend also 0.9 should work. We have this glow and polygon, all of it. I think that is fine. I can select this and put this over here, select this and put this over here for just organization purposes. Now you have the masking effect, the outline, and all of these things are done. Now comes the part of adding text and the icons. So again, if you don't have this by the way, this toolbar takes a lot of place, so I just realized that I haven't disabled that. So you can come to this fusion, uncheck show toolbar, and boom, you will have more real estate. Now this merge, shift plus spacebar, add text plus, and boom, you got yourself a text. Now in this text, let's Saudi Arabia. I think that will look super cool. Now you can view this. So I want this to start from 45th frame. So first of all, let me just reduce its size or something like this. We can even put this over here, somewhere like this. And from 45th. First of all, its right one should be like this. Then after 25 frames, so it's like something like 70. It should cover all the space. And in this merge, what I can do is I can change the apply mode to, I think it was overlay or linear dodge. I don't remember actually, but I think it was overlay. And in this blend, I can do 0.9. So it will look something like this now. You are pretty much done with the text and all of that. But after this, we are doing the main thing, which is adding the icons. So we have all of these over here. First, we'll be adding this barrel icon. So you have this barrel, attach it. That is it. It's that simple. And now it's really, really big. You don't want this to be this big. So after this media in, add XF to make it smaller. Something like this should work. Put it over here. Make it this small. Put it over here. Okay. Then again, after this transform, DUP to add a duplicate. But right now, as you can see, it's not working. Well, that is because that's why I always encourage you guys to add your element on a canvas. So after this media in, shift spacebar, BG, background. It is really, really important to add your elements on a background. In this, do this. In this merge, do Control T. And I don't think that we need to add this transform right now. And in this background, alpha to 0. After this merge, maybe you can do all of that and put this over here now. Reduce its size to something like this. I think this will look good. And now I have a thing. Instead of adding it to a background, or you see how we added this on a background, but now we need to change its apply mode to color burn on this, or we need to take this as a texture instead of this black input. We can do that with merge now. It's really simple. Just change the operator to mask. But instead of this background, let me just remove that. I will take the input of this merge, or maybe let's take the input of this one, or you can take whatever input you want. It will not overlap. So take it as background input. And now if you will see, it will be something like this. Now change this merge operator to mask. And boom, it's not visible. Well, actually it is if you see this merge. So this blackiness has, like this merge is acting as a mask. So the background, the foreground is masking the background. Okay. And then again, because we have attached it to our background, it's working properly. But it's not visible because there is the same clips. How it will be visible? It's common sense, I think. Again, then in this merge, change its apply mode from normal to linear dodge. Boom, you got yourself this. Then change its blend mode to 0.9, and you just need to do this again, but not like the way which you think that you should do. Then in this duplicate, come to the center and bring it over here, place it over here. Then again, take this, add a XF. I think this will work. Take this duplicate, put it into this, then again put this with the merge, and in this merge again choose linear dodge, and in this transform bring this over here, and that is it. So what we did over here was we have this plain image which is transparent, so we have this solid shapes over here. Then we are masking it out with the help of merge. We are masking the background out with the help of merge. Okay, and we already had that shape which is transparent. Then with the help of duplicate nodes, we are able to get these two. Then in this merge, we change its apply mode to linear dodge. And with that, we were able to get this kind of color effect. And with the help of transform, I was able to basically take a duplicate of that. And with the help of transform, I just change its position. And again, doing the same thing in this merge. And we were able to get these 4 barrels. See how easy it was? Then we have this. In this clip, there are a lot of things. First of all, it starts from 6th frame. So what we can do is we can come over here in this media in, and in this trim we can type 6. So it will start from 6th. Okay, check this loop, and yeah, that is it. Then in this media in, first of all, let's connect this to the merge output, and if we see this now, so it will look something like this. Then again, this should be on a plain background. I will make this a habit of yours. Shift plus spacebar, BG, and that is it. Again, come here, Control T to swap the inputs in this background, make it alpha out. And in this media, now add a mask, RCT, and let me just place it over here so that black borders will not be visible. Okay, and after this media in, let me again add a luma here. How did we remove that whiteness in the map? With luma keyer. Same we will do over here. So in this luma keyer, let me just reduce. First of all, we need to see that. Let me just remove all of this. I think this much is fine. Well, you can see it's properly masked out. Now what we're going to do, we're going to just check this invert. That is it. Increase the gamma, decrease some contrast and expand, or maybe increase, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't. And increase some blur. Just a tad bit, not too much. And increase the contrast expand too. Not that much, but just a little bit. And you can even play with it like wherever you feel it's good. I think this is fine. We can take that, put this as a merge, or well, now you can see you have this black border. Then what's the benefit of using this rectangle, you might ask? We use this black border to get rid of that, right? But if I come over here and see this, you can see we have this black border. So how do we get rid of that? Well, you can take this rectangle and put this to the slow marquee here too. And this way, it will act as a mask on the slow marquee here also. Alright, you have this pump jack now working. I think this is pump jack, by the way. And if I come ahead a little bit like this, so after this merge, I can again add a EXIF transform node, make it smaller, put it somewhere here. Let me just make it more smaller, something like this should work. Maybe this much is fine, I think. Yep, I'll play. So you can see, yeah. And one more thing, I need to increase its speed. How do we do that? After this media in, add a time speed node and increase its speed to 5 because it's really slow. And by the way, in real life also it's really slow, but again, we are making a, what kind of haters you are if you can't imagine and do stuff. I hope that you understand that. Then in this merge, what we can do is, instead of this background again, remove this and take the output of this merge, put it over here. In this merge, choose the operator to mask. In this merge, choose the apply mode to linear dodge. The same thing which we did to the barrels. Reduce the blend to 0.9. I think this should work properly. Yeah, that is it. Alright, then what? Again, after this transform, add another transform. Take the output from it over here. Again, join this to the merge. You will have another merge. In this merge, again, apply mode to linear dodge. Well, nothing has happened. That is because you need to change the transform's output. Transform parameter. Bring this little down. First of all, we need to view this. Bring this little down. And what we can do is we can flip it. And that is it. One more thing which we can do is its blend should be 0.9, I think. And boom, you got yourself everything. But now if I come onto the starting frames, you can see that these are showing up, which we don't want. We want them to show up as the mask shows up. So when we do, we can add a wireless node and then take this fast noise and put it to the wireless node. Or you can take this fast noise and attach it to all of that, but this doesn't look good. So just for organization purposes, I'm using this wireless node and attach it to each of the element that you just created. Now if we will play, let me just reduce the proxy a little bit so that it will be a little bit faster. So you can see it is coming, looking good, and these shows up as the mask comes up, which is super cool. Yeah, it is super cool. Let's play back, make it full again, text, bring it down again. I think we can reduce the size of these just a tad bit, not a lot, but just a tad bit. So what you can do is you can come to this transform, and if you will decrease the size, both of these sizes will be decreased. Again, come to this duplicate. Okay, so out of this media in EXIF, you can reduce the size of this, then all of its size will be reduced. I think this much is fine. So let's see the difference now. Well, we are pretty much closer to it, but this is looking much better. Why is that? Well, that's because of OFX, but its text, first of all, I'm seeing that is, let me just come here onto this text and reduce its size. That's why I was wondering, because it was really small. Not really small, but something like this. Looking better. Now after this, I think we are pretty much done, right? Yeah, not pretty much, we are done. The thing which we want to add is just to animate this. Now how do we animate this? We need to put it on a image plane. Well, because we will be animating this in 3D space with the help of a 3D camera, which is actual camera. So image plane 3D, and now if you'll see this, you will be here in the 3D workspace. Again, control middle scroll wheel to zoom in, zoom out, alt middle mouse wheel to I don't know what this is, but simple scroll wheel to pan around, and this to do this. And by chance if you are here, then click F, you will be back to your clip. After this image plane, add camera 3D, and this merge will automatically be added. Let's see it. And after this merge, add a renderer 3D and change this to OpenGL. And this render 3D, let's see. Well, nothing is showing up. Well, that is because we see this in merge. Let me just do dual view and put this render 3D over here and put this merge 3D over here. If you see this in merge 3D over here, the camera is over here. So with this blue input, you can put this camera back. You can see now it's showing up, or you can come to this, click on this camera node, come to transform and do the same thing with the parameters. It's totally up to you. So I'll come to this first frame and let's animate that. First of all, let me just bring it over here, something like this, then rotate it on the y-axis. So something like this should work. Maybe put it on top too, and then with the help of X rotation, yeah, it will be something like this. Don't worry about this transparent background. We will be animating its focal length too. Focal length is zooming in with the camera. Now if I play, yeah, it is working. Let me come ahead to 90th frame, and on 90th frame it should be, well, on the 0 frame, let me first add keyframes. I forgot to do that. It's good that I remember it now. On 90th frame, what we can do is we can first of all rotation to 0 0, bring it somewhere around here, then down, then again it should be looking up and looking in that direction. Let's bring it a little closer. Something like this should work. More closer, but more like that. Yeah, something like this. Now bring it down, bring it here, bring it more down, bring it there, more down. Increase the Z. So you can play with it bit by bit. You will get somewhere, and it will look something like this. Now it will do this, this, then this, and lastly this. If I come here in controls, you can see you have this option of focal length. Add a keyframe, zoom in, and if I come ahead, you should be able to see all of it. I think the focal length has matched perfectly. I didn't need to do anything. So 90, it will be something like this. On 0, there's one more thing which I would like to do. That is, I would like to move this more on the x-axis. Not a lot, but something like this should work. Right click, auto proxy. If I play, okay, let me just do it. Yeah, now it is working. Let me bring it ahead, something like this. And now if I increase it, now if I play, yeah, now it is working fine. Now it is working perfectly fine. And lastly, something like this should work. Yes, looking super good. So yeah, that is it. Right click on camera, edit splines. You have splines over here. Again, show only selected tool is turned on. That's why I'm only seeing this. Select all with Control A. Then I already have this ease in and ease out. With T, you can bring those out. Shift S to smooth them out. Ease in. Let's increase it to 80 or something like that. Ease out. Decrease it to something like 25 or maybe 13. That's fine. And with that, you will have something like this. Let me just make playback to quarter. Zoom that out. I'm sorry for the resolution, but otherwise it will be laggy. Oh yes, it's working perfectly fine. Even it's looking super cool if I'll be really honest. First of all, I can do Control A to select all spline. I hope that all of my settings are smoothen out. Yeah, I think so. Oh, which is this one? Oh, the text. It's text. Okay. So yeah, looking super cool. We can even, let me just choose text node. Select Shift S. And that is pretty much it. Let me just do playback full. Boom. That is fine. Now comes the part of making it look good, what I was talking about earlier. So in this, you can see we have all this blur effect, looking good, color, and all of that thing. Let me do that for you. After this renderer, what you can do is you can add, first things first, upraise blur. Alright, let me just see. First of all, aberration strength to 1. Aberration, first of all, right click, auto proxy turn off. Aberration distance to something like 0.018 will work, and blur strength to 0. Okay, let's see the reference. Let me bring it closer. Let's put the reference over here and let's put our clip over here. Okay, now it should look good. By the way, the map is looking like that. I don't know why. Well, whatever. Okay, after prism blur, let me just put the prism blur at last and connect the prism blur to media out. In this prism blur, we'll also be doing some vignetting. So vignette stuff works something like this, and you can see over here we have some vignette. After render, let's add a halation. Let's add a film grain, this one, opacity to 1, texture to 0, grain strength to something like 0.4. Let me add 0.4, and yeah, that is it. Inhalation, come to view glow alone, reduce the spread something like half, increase the strength, reduce the spread to something like this, or maybe this much. It depends to you. And now you can see it's little bit coming over here. Yeah, in this film grain you will have that. And after this renderer, we also had tilt shift blur. So tilt shift blur, come to 0, put this over here. It was something like this if I remember. Yeah, it's something like this. Add keyframe center XY, angle, and in focus range 2. Come ahead little bit, somewhere around 50. I think that is fine. 50, and on 80 it should be rotating something like this, and it should be here. Alright, looking good. Now on 90, what I want to do is I want to play with this in focus range. So whatever it should be focus over here till here. That is looking super cool. You can even preview the depth map if you want to. And now if you will see from the starting, it's coming like this. One more thing which I noticed is that our fast noise mask is a little bit ahead, but that is not an issue. It is looking good. It is fine. We can work with that. And then what we can do is after this tilt shift blur, add a lens blur. Well, why is that? Because it's on here. So on 94th, let me add a blur size to 0, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. It should be 0. Again a keyframe. In the middle, it should be 3. Okay, so something like this. Maybe 0 should be here. Then in this next one it's fine. Then over here it should be 4. Over here it should be 0 back again. This creates a real life camera effect, sort of, you can say that. One more thing which I forget is add a XF transform node, not 3D, sorry, after this render. XF transform 2D, right click on center, modify with shake. This will add some shakiness in the image so that it's not smooth. Minimum should be 0.495, maximum should be 0.505. Yeah, that is it. This will add some little bit movement to the image, as you can see. And lastly, what do we have is we are done with prism blur, film grain, halation. Yeah, after lens blur, CC for color correction. Saturation should be 0.9. It should be decreased. The contrast should be increased just a tad bit, not too much. Again, gamma should be 0.9. Gain should be 0.9. Lift should be again 0.9. Oops, sorry, 0.49. Wait, what? It should be like that as it is, okay? Then brightness should be increased just a tad bit, I think. Yeah, something like this. Then lastly, after prism blur, add is glow. Soft glow, reduce it to 0.1. And I think that is looking super great. And what else can we do in color corrector? You can even reduce the lift, something like this should work. And inhalation, you can increase the strength if you want to, saturate the image more. But I think this much is fine. 0.8. All right. And now with that, you will have an animation like this. And that's a wrap up for this one, guys. And you can see that we have created this one. On the right one, you see what we created right now, and the left one is what we created earlier. So I hope that you understand every bit of this one. And this was just a part one of this animation series, map animations we are going to create. I'll be creating at least 3 to 4 map animations because I'm kind of liking this map animation, but it's a little bit difficult to get those maps, high quality maps, and high quality assets. But whatever, this is it. And please, I highly recommend you go to community post and comment down below whatever effect you want me to recreate for you, or anything else related to map animation or anything. Just please be active on the community post. It's really helpful for me as well as for you. Yeah, and that is it. With that said, I hope that you like this one, so you know the drill, what to do. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace out.